Shaking Dub.
It's a great day here at KEKFILA's YouTube channel. I am the KEKFILA, the uncoveted Doflamingo leader of the leaders. And today I am bringing you a tournament report from July 29th Core. I do want to say thank you so much for Core for hosting such a good event. It was ran very, very well. And hope most events run that smooth in the future. And I'm looking forward to going to Pasadena in September, where they're hosting that as well. Also, my next tournament for Twitch will be on August 12th. I won't be in any ones for next week, but I will be in the August 12th online. So I will also be live streaming that again on Twitch. And before I go into the tournament report, I first want to say thank you guys so much for all the subs. And I will say, when I hit 400 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway for 10 Loser Dawn, and I will just mail it to you, essentially. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to be eligible. If you don't know what to comment about, just let me know who your favorite One Piece character is. I will also put mine down below. And with that, first, here's the deck list. I played Doflamingo. I had the same list as last week. One thing I may change going forward, I want to put a fourth Mihawk in there. I'm not sure what I would take out, but I'm thinking it would either be a Gecko Moria or a Pacifista. I should at least try playing 3 Pacifista, but, you know, it's just sort of a frustrating thing. I think going forward, you're going to be seeing actually a lot more Whitebeard, or more Whitebeard than you did see this week, because this is the first 3.5 tournament where there was a limited list on all those Whitebeard cards, but I think people are starting to believe again, and you'll probably see that be an issue. And without further ado, let's get into the goo. So first of all, this was from Core's regional, July 29th, and I ended up getting 64th. I bubbled in. That is so nuts. I'm still like laughing about it every time. And I mean, the main thing is all my tie breaks were pretty good, but I was not that confident. I was pretty sure I wasn't making top 64, but then that happened. The math is there. You guys can do the math, but it's pretty lucky, essentially, right? Because I had opponents that beat me. They didn't get top. They did not get top 64. So I did go 7 wins and 3 losses, and I'll go through every match right now. Round 1, I faced a Zoro. This was one of the more entertaining starts because he has an additional webcam. He actually uses it as his phone. And it's just to show his hand. It's just to deter anybody from accusing him from cheating. And I actually put that on webcam. When I do that video for that content, you'll see that and you'll probably laugh. It's honestly great. So I faced that Zoro. Essentially, all that kind of happened is I was able to control board, and I was able to win games slowly by controlling board. I think he gassed out at some point. I wasn't quite sure what he did wrong there, but I'll go definitely into that in detail. In my games I go over. Be tuned for those. Round 2, I face another Zoro, and this Zoro player was some kid in Canada playing on his bed. You can hear TV in the background, and oh my god, he played so fast. He actually was very, very good. I had to tell myself to slow down and not meet his pace. His pace was a little too fast for me, and essentially, he played very, very well. He fire fisted when he needed to, but eventually I just kind of got there in the end, and he actually almost had me there with a, he popped and killed my Pacifista, and my Bartholomew Kuma, and I could call Pacifista from hand. And I thought, well, I have enough guard to guard out of one of these attacks, so I should be fine. But then I realized he actually might have a Fiery Doll, because he just discarded one, and Fiery Doll gives plus 4k to leader. And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I literally said that out loud. I probably read his mind. I'm not gonna do that. I would lose if he Fiery Dolls there. Right, he just has too much power. So I made the right call, and I ended up winning that game. Game 3, I faced Film Kid. I won the die roll here. I go first, and I want to say he played this pretty aggressively. He just swung for leader, and he eventually gassed out at some point. I just saw the cards I needed to when I needed them, And that was like the main concern there. I was able to control board and then go in for the win slowly. But the main thing here is that I was able to guard out in the end as well. It is kind of a rush deck, but I realize how frustrating this deck can feel against because of the pure draw engine it has. But if I'm able to see my pieces, it works out pretty well. Game 4, I end up facing a Zoro, and in this Zoro match, he won the die roll and went first. Now, going second is Doflamingo. I do have a pretty good starting hand here, and essentially, I'll go over that in the game. I was able to control board, and just win the game out slowly like that. It was really aggressive at first, but I saw all the key cards I needed. I saw enough guard. I saw the right curve going second. And ended up being really, really well. One thing I really love about this deck is how well it does going second. Obviously, I think in this matchup, going first is really good. But if you just look how kind of powerful and how powerful that curve can be, it can be almost more consistent going second. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. The deck's not bad going second. Round 5, I face Rob Lucci. I believe this person is Ollie Willie. And when I faced him, I ended up losing this game. And I gotta say, I didn't see any of my Mihawks. This was kind of my bigger issue. I didn't see my 3,000 worlds in enough time. So I wasn't, and it's really frustrating. I need to go for board control to control his board. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to see any of those key pieces. And he kind of just played it very well. I went for a dumb late game play where I had to place an Alvida down. I just needed to get bodies down to kill him with. But he honestly played it pretty well. Finished me with a good few last attacks, and was a real math game there at the end. So congrats over to him. So at this point, I am 4 wins and 1 loss. So I'm like, man, I lost the game. Well, at least the games could be easier. And unfortunately, that didn't come the case. I ended up facing round 6 a Law, but Julian Shin, or Jules Senpai, he is essentially my best friend, and I play with him in my locals all the time, and we end up getting matched up against each other, which is great. He's also live streaming, so the whole interaction was pretty hilarious, and the game was even worse. So he won the die roll, went second. I have a strategy against Law, but he knows that I know that he knows that I know that he knows the strategy. So essentially, we played the most jank game ever. He actually bricks super hard, not seeing any green card besides a killer, which I remove. And so he kind of is just kind of stuck in a spot of building, trying to find any board. And maybe I should have went more aggressive. I didn't recognize that. I thought he was just playing it really, really slow against me. And unfortunately, I was bricking just as bad. So I wasn't able to actually keep a board or a hand. And that was pretty frustrating for essentially both of us. So he eventually just kind of grinded me out and won the game. I probably had some other out in the middle of the game, but honestly, I don't mind losing to him too often. He is honestly a super good player, and I'll be going with him to Pasadena. But at this point, I'm 4 wins, 2 losses, 4-2-0. And I end up facing next an ace, a Fire Fist ace in round 7. Now, this ace, I was, obviously I'm kind of actually afraid of the matchup, to be honest. And it was a will he or will he not Flame Emperor me on curve, or will he do it later in the game? And so essentially, except for the turn I placed down my Mihawk, I was able to keep up a Love Mellow. I'm surprised he didn't try to get value in Flame Emperor me when I Mihawked, but I guess he didn't see any Otama. I think he was digging for an Otama first, so he can Otama Flame Emperor my Mihawk. So I think he was just waiting patiently for one of those to come up. And essentially, we played the will he, won't they. I play board control. I used 3 of my 3,000 worlds on 3 of his Marcos and a 9 cost Mihawk on another one. So I bottom decked 4 Marcos in total. One of them was the blocker. And essentially, I just kind of won board and slowly kind of won game. It was honestly a very interesting matchup and an interesting game to watch. I'm not sure if it was high play, but it definitely felt like we didn't know what to do because there was this will they, won't they? And I definitely had enough Dawn open to guard out the Flame Emperor and just really deal with his board. So that worked out. I was at this point 5 wins and 2 losses. And then I face a film kid. This film kid honestly just played it so well. I won the die roll. I had him go second. And honestly, like he kind of curved. He had a killer out. He's a Bonnie at some point. He had an awesome value engine. I had to deal with his board. And it was just too hard to deal with his board with him going at my face like that. And he just kind of won really, really hard. On top of that, he had a punk Gibson at the very end. So I really couldn't even play a blocker and skill. It just became, eventually at the very end, he's just kid skilling every turn, and I can't really kill him in one turn. So I would say I think the main issue was I didn't see good removal early on, but he curved out very, very well. And I wish I saw a better removal. I think I don't remember. I'll look back into this. I think I didn't see a Mihawk, but you'll see that in the games coming forward. In round 9, I do end up facing a Zoro. There isn't really much to say here. He essentially went first, he on the die roll, and he bricked. So bricking that hard on Zoro can be really punishing. So I just won the game. And at this point, I am 6 wins and 3 losses. I go to my last round. My opponent's playing Whitebeard, and he told me, hey, at one point of this tournament, I was 1 win and 3 losses. I just won 5 games in a row to come back to 6 and 3. And I'm like, dang, dude, you just like went on your second gear. That's nuts. A lot of respect for it, right? But he actually, if you look at this game, he actually curved out super well. Like curved out pretty much almost perfect. I think his 4 Dawn turn wasn't very good, but after that he curved out really well, and I had to play around his 8 Dawn turn for Fire Fist Ace, and I had a feeling because he stopped using his search cards, he wasn't going to look for new gates anymore because he probably had the 1 new gate in hand, and he already played the blocker Marco, so I feel like he already had those. But the problem is that 1 new gate isn't that bad. It's 2 new gates. That's terrible. Or it's not even that bad. It's just not very linear, right? It's just very linear gameplay. So I was able to curve out very well. I played very smart here. I actually blind swung and got, I think, something off the top of the deck, a Boa Hancock. So I had all the luck on my side. I just kind of oppressed this game with Doflamingo, and it was a really good. I'd say I got very, very lucky with my curve and one of my blind swings, and essentially that's just all she wrote. So I will be doing a video for each of these individual games, and they'll be coming out daily, and I appreciate if you want to give a like to those and let me know how you feel about those. I'll probably have that going for next, week or so, 10 games. So that's pretty nuts. But I want to thank you all for watching my videos, watching my Twitch live. That's always really fun to do that. And I hope to see you guys in that next one. And remember to please leave a comment down below of your favorite One Piece character. And you'll be entered in a giveaway if I hit over 400 subs. And I'll do that giveaway on the next tournament report. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Ciao.
Chicken Derby!